Are you known for the statement, get woke or go broke?
That is a statement that I am known for. Yeah.
And what does that mean?
Well, essentially, when a company gets woke, like, when they virtue signal and all this kind of stuff, you go broke. You alienate half of your customer base.
Right.
I never really understood that. I know it works for some brands. It obviously must. But the idea that, when Starbucks says, oh, well, we're not going to have Merry Christmas on our things because we're going to, like when they make statements like that,
Yeah.
all you do is make customers leave. Like they're not, and so I think that corporations, they all said, Nike says Black Lives Matter, but they still make their tennis shoes in sweatshops and stuff like that. It's all, anybody who's actually paying attention knows that when these companies start virtue signaling like that and pushing that kind of stuff, that they're really just hiding stuff. They're trying to hide all that. And so it is more of a hope when companies decide to turn against their customers that they go broke, because they should just sell the coffee, or you should just sell the hot dog, or you should just make your t-shirts, or you should. There's this era where brands have to tell people what they believe in politically.
Right.
Is insane to me. I don't care. Make a t-shirt, make the hoodie that I like, and shut up.
Right.
And that's so many brands have been alienated. There are things in life that it's difficult to boycott everything. You can't always say like, oh, well, gosh, these paper plates are made in China, but I can't afford. So you can't make decisions like that on everything. But when I see a company say, white men are holding people back, or they do something like that, it's like, okay, well, I can buy a hoodie from anybody. I can buy socks from anybody. Yeah. So if you buy, so I hope that people who watch my videos kind of make the same little decisions every day in life too, just to kind of say, you know what, all right, I'll buy my socks from somebody who just doesn't care about anything, just wants to make good socks.
Absolutely. The term woke, why do they call themselves woke when they're really asleep? They cannot see. They are not. Why do they call themselves woke? They should be calling themselves sleep.
Yeah, I think so. I also think people that are woke are some of the most racist people I've ever seen. There's some of the people that there's this weird like attitude that they have about, well, anybody who's not white, really. They treat them like they can't fend for themselves.
Yeah.
And they need protection.
Yeah.
They have the white savior complex. And I don't know about you, but I can't think of anything more racist than thinking, oh, you're black? Well, let me help you. I'm white. How can I help you? Or to say like, oh, well, he's black, so he needs extra this or extra that. That's a completely racist.
Yes.
So I think that the woke thing is like, maybe it started in the black community. It probably did. And when it like actually meant something, but then like many things, it was co-opted by white women. Yeah. And they're the ones that are truly, I think, doing more damage by telling groups of people that, no matter what you do, no matter, you're always going to be under the white man's thumb. You're always going to be. It's no wonder that people grow up and don't want to try, if that's the kind of messaging that they're getting.
Absolutely. You make a very interesting point. I don't know how the blacks put up with the catering that they get, because, and this is on both sides.
I would be insulted.
Yeah. The conservative and liberals, the Republicans and the Democrats do the same thing with the blacks. There's these shows I watch sometime, and I notice whenever they have, with the conservative, whenever they have black guests on the show, they're like, oh,
they do love they love their token black person who's a conservative,
Yeah, they like, I'm like, shut up. It's just a person. It's just the same as it would be anyone. But even the conservative treat the blacks like they just licking their boots, man. And I don't know why the blacks would want to be treated that way, because it looks like you can't do for yourself. You like you soft toilet paper or something.
Yeah, I mean, well, look what they do to, black Republican politicians.
Yeah.
They try to remove their blackness. They'll question their blackness. And, that comes from the black community, not the white community. Who is the guy in California? Larry Elder. Like this dude is, you know what I mean? He's real as it gets. But, So I don't understand why they put up with it. I think it must be people who are opportunistic and are okay with it and are looking to advance their career. I feel like people are smart and they would know that they're being tokenized, which is what
Yeah.
they would know that. I think that Republicans are really like, oh, we've got to get if we put a bunch of we bring black people on, then people can't call us racist.
Yeah.
Or we
Yeah.
do, and so they overcompensate
Yeah.
rather than just worrying about getting the right people on for the it's like there's this thing in the conservative space too. Um I don't know when it started, probably 2018, 2019. Suddenly there was all these like beautiful conservative women and they were like rising to the top. And I was like, oh, they're just models. They're not really conservative. They're
Yeah.
just pretending to be because it's an opportunity. So I don't know even who to trust anymore, really. I
Right.
just try to take them at their word and
Yeah.
try to figure out if they're full of it or not.
That's right. You yeah, man. It hasn't. I want you to know that it hasn't always been that way. When I was growing, I'm older than Israel. Did I tell you that?
Dang.
Israel was created. I just found this out today. Israel was created in 1948,
Okay.
and I was born in 1949. So I didn't know. I thought I was older than dirt, but I didn't know I
Y-
was older than a country.
Yeah, dang, Jess, you look good though. You're holding it together, all right.
What? Black don't crack.
I heard that. Yeah.
So I hope this is true. In 2020, you were dropped from some of your sponsors after tweeting "All Lives Matter" and other
hmm
conservative statement pertaining to Black Lives Matter protesters' riot. Is that true?
Yeah, there were some tweets that did not. Yeah, there were some sponsors that left
Good
when
for
I
you,
said that.
man.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah. Yeah, appreciate it.
Right
Yeah.
on.
I there's certain things that I just can't take the like I wish that everyone would look at their own community and try to like, tweeting stuff on Twitter is fine, but like, man, like I keep getting told that it's community that this problems in certain communities are my fault. And I was like, I'm not even a part of that community. How am I supposed to fix it?
That's
How am I
right.
responsible for it?
Yeah.
I don't, I'm just a guy. And you got half the media saying, well, you're the reason. People that look like you're the reason. It's like, dude, I don't want anybody to get, have gang violence affect their life. I don't care what color they are.
Yeah.
It's so stupid. And the whole Black Lives Matter thing was just plus, oh my God, who didn't know that the organization was going to turn out to be a total scam,
Yeah.
like all the money they took, all the tens of millions of dollars that disappeared, and their founder moved into a 99.7 white neighborhood,
Living
Patrice
hound the
colors.
hog.
Yeah, right. She took all that money, she moved to a white neighborhood. I don't know what she's done for the black community, but
So,
profited
so
off
I
them.
wonder if Black Lives Matter, once you got all that money, why did she move into the hood?
That's a good
You
question.
know?
Do the work where the people are. Go
Right. Why
help.
you gonna
Yeah.
go and move into the enemy's neighborhood? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In their
Yeah.
mind. But I do want to tell you that when I was growing up, it wasn't like this for the blacks. Blacks were independent, individual thinkers. They worked for themselves. They have families. Families. It was an embarrassment to get a woman pregnant out of wedlock. They would have to go in hiding. And when I was growing up in Alabama on the plantation, that was the Jim Crow law existed,
Mm,
but it didn't hold us back at all. And
mm,
because we knew that the Jim Crow law was about the Democratic Party not wanting blacks to be a part of the Democratic Party. And that's why the Republican Party was started by blacks and whites, because blacks were not allowed into the Democratic Party. And so black people knew, for the most part, not all, but most knew that it was a spiritual battle, a warfare between good and evil, and it had nothing to do with color
mm.
or male or female. So they bought land, they had they had businesses, they were moving on with their lives. They were not thinking about somebody can hold me back. and they did not have the group mentality like blacks have today. Most blacks have today. They into the color thing, and they into a group.
Yeah.
And if you join a group, you lose your identity. But if you stand as an individual, you maintain your identity and you do what you want in life without somebody holding you back.
Yeah, I mean, I think that there needs to be, like, collectivism is bad in almost all forms. And
Yeah,
I think that it, it starts with, you know, families, fathers staying in the home.
yeah,
And really it comes back to individual responsibility. You have a kid, now you stay and you take care of that kid so the kid doesn't grow up on the streets with bad influences, and it's just these things are so simple
yeah,
and backed up by data, but nobody can say it.
yeah.
Nobody says what is so obvious. If you have 15 kids from 11 different moms, how are you going to be a dad?
That's right. As a
You
matter
can
of
be a
fact, it was known that Black Lives Matter was against the nuclear family. They
yes.
they against the nuclear family. They admitted to being Marxists.
Mhm.
They admitted to all the wrong things, and yet they were allowed to get away with the insurrection upon this country like that.
Yeah, it was really how, I mean, you've been around longer than me, and I'm
Longer
sure
than
you can.
Israel.
Yeah, right. So I think you could probably relate, but have you ever, you see something and you just know it's BS,
Yeah,
and then it just plays out anyway. And so when everyone was donating, all these racially guilty white people were donating money to, I'm like, those monies aren't going to go to the streets. That
right.
money's not going to help black businesses. That money's not going to help rebuild churches, which does help keep families together. It's not going to help do any of this stuff. It's just going to enrich 5 or 10 people. And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah,
And everyone forgot about it.
yeah.
Are they investigating that Patrice Cullors? No. She's got 3, 4, 5 homes. Nobody cares because they got to feel like 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 they could go tell all their other white liberals like that they gave money to help the black community.
What a mess.